Hey guys, welcome to another day on the shop. Today, we're going to be working on the Jeep. Yay! So this is my 79 CJ5, not my 7. That's the other one. So this was purchased with partial frame and a lot of other goodies and a lot of replaced pieces. A lot of them are actually in this box over here with this other stuff. So, stabilizers, shocks, other things. New stabilizer, new shocks. Got new bushings for things. We put new body mounts on here. Body mounts. We had to weld up the frame a good bit because it was Swiss cheese. We put just a little piece back here to hold on to the body mount a little bit better. Painted all that just to make sure it doesn't rust as much. And then we got a tack. We got a couple gauges. I need to finish hooking up my voltmeter down there because even though my voltmeter up there works, I'm just going to hold on to that, or I'm going to swap that out for the fuel gauge one day. I'm not sure yet. So my oil pressure gauge is on the dash up here. Doesn't work, and my fuel and temp does not work on my speedometer. Oh, problems we have. This does have a 304 3-speed, pretty sweet. I enjoy it. So lovely. Got a brake booster for it. Help with the brakes, works really well. Can lock up the brakes. So today let's delve into this. So today we're going to be talking about these spacers. I don't like how these spacers have turned out. I got a weld right there for some reason, so what's going to happen is I got to grind that off too. But these spacers are meant for a lift for the Jeep, and with that I'm going to have to redo them because, as you see, this one's crooked. Let's come around to this side. On the driver's side. The driver's side, as I drive, this one has wiggled loose a little bit, and the whole transmission and transfer case shifts under hard braking or hard acceleration. So we're going to get rid of just having just little legs like this, and we're going to go to something a little bit better. So let's go look at it. Alright, so looking at this tube. This is a 1x1 tube. It's not the thickest in the world, but I'm going to brace it by using said spacers already. We're going to cut this to length, and once we cut this to length, we're going to cap the ends. We're going to drill a hole through. We're going to put those spacers in between here. And on top of that, after we do that, we're also, since it's going to be as long as said piece, it's going to have a lot more durability and stabilize that transmission member, cross member, a whole lot better. So I wish this was thicker, but this is all Home Depot had and Lowe's had. I don't want to go to an industrial place right now, but the caps will be inserted in to even create less of a moment to collapse. So let's look at some more stuff. So the piece I bought from Lowe's and Home Depot, or Home Depot, not sure where I bought it from, is 1x1, and it's like I guess 1/16 or something, or 1/36. I'm not sure how thick it is. It's very thin. Went out in my scrap pile, found 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 angle, which I'm going to weld together. Put caps on the end, and I may or may not put one support in the middle here, just to make sure that this thing doesn't collapse. But for the strength purposes of this, this is pretty strong. And the gap in there, I think, is 1.5 inches, and this is 1 1/4, so it'll be just a 1/4 inch off, which won't really make a big difference from the drop, I think, for the drive shafts and all that, because it's already 1.5 inches, and I'm not going any higher right now. I think I'll leave it the stock height, or the same height I bought it at, which is I think 4 inches. But it'll stabilize the transmission and create a better support instead of just those little legs hanging on and holding that thing. So what we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to cap the ends, maybe put a support in the middle, drill the holes out, and put the inserts in here, weld them to this boxed angle, and then level it out and make this all one solid piece as a brace and an extension of the frame. Yeah, I think it's a lot stronger than what it's got on there, so anything will help, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I've got enough of this to where I can do this and not have any issues. So let's get to creating this little fab deal. So we're going to try and fix this thing. Alright, so right now I'm just cleaning up the pieces. I'm going to go out and get the other two out of the yard. Alright, these are all cleaned up now. I'm going to put two of these together and just put a magnet between them and make sure that they are holding true so that I can measure out the end caps and the support on the inside. So we're going to do it like that. Alright, just get two of them on here. That, like this. This thing shouldn't go anywhere now. Alright, let's measure that. Alright, so I got everything ready to go. Now that I've got the pieces on there and everything, I can start looking at where I want everything and cutting this at a straight angle. Alright, the only bad thing I see on these is they have holes on each side, so I'm going to cut these off. So I kind of want to weld them together already and then cut them off at a straight angle and then tack them all together. They got to be 17 inches. I got plenty. I might just, I don't know. Might just go ahead and draw a line, 13 and a half, or 17, whatever it is. It's 8.5, and put my little pieces, my hot pieces right there as a support in the middle, and tack it together, and then cut off at the part I need on each side as 17. That's what I might do. Alright, well I didn't film it, but I've got a piece in here. It's welded on one side, but the thing is the way this is the up and down section. That's the front and back. So that's the vertical section, horizontal, whatever you want to call it. I've tacked it pretty much. I'm going to clean all this off. I'm going to get the rest of it done. I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of stitch weld it until I get done, keeping it as straight as possible. But yeah, it's got a piece in there. You can kind of see the light a little bit because it's not pushed on this one. And so this might be the top. Let me put an arrow. Put that up top, so as it crushes it, it'll crush into it. And yeah, it'll just create a support. But it's welded on both sides on the bottom one. I have my lines for my cutoff wheel. And then once I do that, I've got these little inserts which are going inside to create a more strength. So it'll cap right at the ends of each one and they'll be welded, ground down, looking good. I'll probably do that after, so I get all the debris out and I can paint most of the inside. But I gotta drill holes in this. Drill holes big enough for at least those inserts, and once I get them in there and tack weld them in there, I will shave them flush with the bracket, and yeah, once I get them in the bracket and clean them all up, boop, 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 I'll put these little ends in and put them on, and we'll paint the outside and we'll put it on. tedious process. Not too much. I think I've been working on it for about an hour-ish, and that's stop and go because I've got other things going on. But yeah. So also I haven't done a Tool Tuesday on this, but I've used this little reboot welder a lot, and it hasn't failed me yet. So I'll put a link in the description down below for that if you want to take a look at it. And yeah, so I'm going to take a break for a moment, let this thing cool down, and then I'll get back to it, and we'll just slice off the ends, and then we'll start measuring up for the holes and get these brackets made. I have to get the jack up under here and unbolt this and do that on both sides so it doesn't look like that. And yeah, so pretty happy with my slow but successful completion of this. I made them overlap as well just for more strength, and plus it makes it taller. So if I can make it taller, it'll probably take up that little bit of a gap it already was going to have. So fingers crossed it will. Let's get back to it. Alright guys, new day. Yeah, took a little more of a break than I thought I did. This is pretty much cooled down from yesterday. I need to put some more weld on it and get it the rest of the way. I need to cut off these little sections right here and make sure this whole thing's square-ish. And then we've got to take these bolts off down here to get these out. And once we get those out, we can start measuring those up and drilling our hole on each side and knocking that out. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Let's get to it. I don't feel like sitting around today. I just want to get this done. So less talking because y'all know the plan. So let's do this. We've finished these. They don't look too bad. I mean, they'll do exactly what I need to. They're pretty stout, so they look like boxed pieces, and that's what they should look like. And they would be a lot better than what I had in there, and they won't shift. That's the biggest thing. So this one still has metal in it for some reason. But that's where they're gonna go, just like that. And I gotta get them in there. So I've got to I gotta put a little bit more paint right there once I put it in. I gotta lower this, and then we'll squeeze this in here and get this in. Let's do it. Alright, well that looks a lot better. I do have a little bit of weld right here from a previous bolt that was through this frame that I need to grind off right there and make it flat. But other than that, this side looks great. It's warm. And then go over here, and this side looks phenomenal. My next project, I think I either want to lop this off or I want to try and just cut it and bend it upward, and I can bolt it again to here if need be. or just make a whole new transmission cross member. Maybe they, I don't know if they sell one or not. They should. This thing's pretty thick though, so I don't know. But everything looks good. It's all snug. It's all tight. It's not going anywhere, and it looks a lot better than just those little inserts that were sitting there. So this thing shouldn't shift back and forth when I hit the brakes. It should be pretty solid. It looks a whole lot better than it did. I don't really like those holes in there, but hey, what can you do? My body mount has a little bit of a length right there hanging down. I don't like that either, but that is what it is too. So yeah, another thing on the Jeep secured. I don't know how this is going to work, but the Bosch fuel gauge, I haven't been able to get it to work correctly, but I unplugged the ground to it. I've heard people unplugging the ground and it read correctly, and it didn't sit at full when it was half a tank or something like that. So, but yeah, we're gonna take this out sometime soon and see how it runs. Make sure that's not shifting anymore back and forth. If it is, then I'll talk about changing out the transmission mount, but not yet. So we're slowly but surely getting this thing where I feel secure driving it as almost a daily, especially with fall coming up. That would be pretty sweet. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. It was kind of probably a short video just of changing that out, so I don't have that problem anymore with a couple of tools. Yeah, I have a welder. I got my gas Harbor Freight, and then I got my Amazon cheapo, but that cheapo spot on for less than 300 bucks. And I do gas, MIG, and then I do flux core, and you can do lift TIG, but my torch that comes with it, or that you can buy for it, doesn't have the right adapter. Go figure. Same brand, same everything, it doesn't work. That's what the Chinese do. But if you want to even see that welder, check out the link in the description below. Shout out to Benchmark Abrasives for my cutoff wheels and sanding discs and all that. Dynamic Tools for the grip-on clamp, spot on for that. And OLSA Tools for my wrenches and whatnot. All my organization right there. So check them out, link in the description. But if you want to see more of this, please subscribe, give me a like, give me a follow, give me a comment down below, and yeah, and until next time.